Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First, on behalf of Indus International Research Foundation, let me welcome you all to the IIRF Aerospace and Defense Technology Weekly Lecture Series. For the information of those who are joining us for the first time or who will be listening our recordings for the first time, let me tell you that these lecture series have been specially designed for our audience from the defense industries, MSMEs, startups, and the defense scientist community. Today is the fourth lecture in the series, and we have already shared the recording of our earlier lectures with you by email and other means. Today's talk will be by veteran Wing Commander M. Jeyakumar. And the chair is Lieutenant General Anil Kapoor. He is the former DG, EME of the Indian Army. However, before we begin, may I request President IIRF Brigadier Sandeep Kumar to give his welcome address and commence the proceeding. Thereafter, I will introduce veteran Wing Commander Jeyakumar to you after Brigadier Sandeep is over.
Raj, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, on behalf of Indus International Research Foundation, let me welcome all the esteemed guests who spared their valuable time to attend this event. It is the fourth lecture in our series of talks on Atmanirbhar Bharat in aerospace and defense industry. It gives me immense pleasure to inform all that Indus International IIRF India is in collaboration with World Trade Center, Utah, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, that is at Utah, USA, United Service Institution, Center for Joint Warfare, that is St. Joe's and Lucknow, and the Policy Times. We have started a lecture series under the banner of Atmanirbhar Bharat in aerospace and defense industry, the way forward for strong and resilient India. As already brought out, the broad aim of this series of lectures is to familiarize the private defense industry and entrepreneurs and academia with the broad emerging technology needs of the Indian Armed Forces. User interface with academia and industry will be our future aim. Here I am happy to announce that the World Trade Center team will be in Bangalore in the first week of March 24 and will be part of the defense conclave which we are planning. So till date, we have already had 3 lectures, which is already explained, and recording of these talks are available on your YouTube channel and on our website, indusresearch.in. I would request the August gathering to subscribe to our channel and give your comments. Just before the talk, I would like to just give some thoughts. Why we couldn't achieve self-reliance to meet even routine requirements of the armed forces is a matter of introspection at all levels. India missed the boat when West was looking for cheap manufacturing hubs in Asia. And as we all know, China took the initiative to provide all facilities for global manufacturing. India focused on service industry, including IT and ITES only. But the control remained with the West. Today, as the West is realizing that China has achieved monopoly and is trying to compete with the US and with the US to become a superpower in and they have also achieved monopoly in manufacturing and rare earths. The West are finally pulling out and spreading manufacturing facility in a number of Asian countries. India is also getting a share of it. However, with Government of India focusing on Atmanirbhar Bharat, we are seeing rapid transformation in manufacturing industrial sector in India. The outlook and approach of the stakeholders who have undergone a paradigm shift. This is a good sign. The successful corporate houses have understood the need to groom and promote small MSMEs and startups to create a robust economy as envisioned by our national leadership. While many attempts are being made to reduce the gap between the academia and industry, the need for bringing our stakeholders, especially the user, including the armed forces and DPSU, still exists. So today we are presenting for you a talk and presentation on innovations by instinct, a paradigm shift in the approach to self-reliance by Wing Commander Jeyakumar. This lecture will deliberate on the successful attempts made by a few startups in collaboration with academia under the guidance of military veterans and soldiers. I would like to highlight here veterans and soldiers have a major role in making Atmanirbhar Bharat a success. This in turn will underline the scope of effectively employing untapped and underutilized potential of military veterans to support academia and manufacturing industries. I welcome our senior attendees, the USI, the CENTOS, and other people who are attending. With this, I hand over to Group Captain Rajshekhar Mehta to set the ball rolling. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Brigadier Sandeep sir. I will give a brief introduction to the speaker and then hand over the deliberation to the chair. So bear with me. Veteran Wing Commander M. Jeyakumar, who is the speaker today, has served in the flying branch of the Indian Air Force as a navigator and has more than 2,000 years of flying experience. He is an alumni of Air Force Academy and Navigation Training School and College of Air Warfare, Hyderabad, and Air Force Administrative College, Coimbatore. In Air Force, he commanded a frontline combat unit for more than 5 years, wherein he contributed immensely towards the air defense of the nation. In his other appointments in the IAS, he has distinguished himself through employment of innovative methodology and modern technology to ensure efficiency and safety of air as well as on ground. Wing Commander Jeyakumar is credited for being a designer cum project director of an indigenous missile simulator named POEMS, P-O-E-M-S, which could save thousands of crores of rupees to the exchequer. He received the Prime Minister's Certificate of Excellence and Innovation and was personally appreciated by the Honorable President of India, Vice President and Defense Minister and Chief of Defense Staff at that time, and other dignitaries for his achievement. His concept of automation of proof firing range has been well appreciated by many stakeholders in the world of assurance. He also received the National Project Academy Award from the Project Management Association, headed by renowned scientist Dr. A. Sivathanu Pillai. During his career in the IF, he initiated various indigenous R&D projects wherein he collaborated with academia and MSMEs. Through his company, he is promoting more than 50 startups and at the moment. His team of innovators is spread across country, is specialized in the field of indigenization, automation, and simulation by employing various technologies, including artificial intelligence, wireless networking, software, optronics, biotechnology, technical textiles, renewable energy, etc. His team has also indigenously developed various products for the armed forces, which includes drones, anti-drones, simulators, automated vehicles, and robotics. In all his mission, he involves academia and MSME and TENDIC. He also offers consultancy services to MSME, researchers, and educationists who wish to adopt and upgrade technology in their respective fields. He involves himself in many projects undertaken by academia through his action-oriented think tank, Bridge Bharat Council. It is a Section 8 company. He interacts with various government departments and harnessing the untapped potential of academia and MSMEs and military veterans. So with this, I will hand over the mic to the chair and request him to invite our honored speaker, Wing Commander Jeyakumar, to start his talk. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Raj. It's indeed a pleasure to be on these if I may say, webinar forums. Actually, they become webinars in some way. And it's an interesting subject that we have today on innovation by instinct. I think innovation is something that is all-pervasive, and each one of us is imbued by the divine to actually think and act innovatively. It is a choice we make in life, and I'm happy that we have amongst us Wing Commander Jeyakumar, who shall be giving his views and his experiences in this area. So without much ado, I'll request Wing Commander Jay to take on the mantle and go through his piece on, or his paper and thesis on innovation by instinct. Over to you, Wing Commander Jay.
Thank you very much, sir. And good afternoon to all of you. And my heartfelt thanks to IIRF and all the senior officers out here for giving me this great opportunity. It's a proud privilege for me to share a few things what I have learned over this 3.5 decades in uniform and after the uniform also. So the topic per se, the innovation by instinct. This basically, I put it in a polished way that it's by mistake. Whatever mistakes I've done by instinct or without knowing the basics, but then it gave the result for the organizations which have brought us up. So that's the background with which I came, sir. And what rightly brought out by Brigadier Sandip sir in his introductory speech, that the veterans hold the key for the success of Atmanirbharta, the military veterans and the soldiers. Why we all throughout our career have been doing some innovation here or there, anywhere. Without innovation, no soldier has ever hung his uniform. So that is the basis on which the business model itself started. And also few innovations what Group Captain Mehta had highlighted, all those things were based on this instinct only. When I say instinct, it doesn't mean that I don't need a formula or any engineering thing. It's required. It's the start is with the innovation instinct, and then we need to sustain it with the calculations and the formulas and the technology. So that's the thing. And coming to the why the military veterans, it is the topic of my PhD, sir. I'm MBA HRM. So in that, topic itself was effective employment of veterans for the industrial growth. So that was my topic. So that's where I started doing it in 2015. I started this. So now today, as an entrepreneur come mentor for a lot of industries, I could effectively utilize this and I avail the fruits of this effort. So then I thought it's a great forum that I got an opportunity to present my views. And as a disclaimer, I would request you all to pardon me in case somewhere I go off track or wrong in views or my experience, whatever the limited experience I have, 35 years. What I've seen may not be the right one, but then I'm willing to learn as I've been doing so far. So with this, I just start, sir. I'll be focusing on two of the projects similar to each other, and how the products have been developed and how the MSME helped me, how I could integrate the academia in this. With the few examples I'll give, and thereafter I'll conclude. Because here more to discuss rather than talk one way. So I'll, with your permission, I'll start the presentation, sir. Thank you, sir. So innovations by instinct. When I say instinct, sir, for example, like if I feel cold, I don't take the thermometer. Instead, I would take a woolen or a bed sheet and then cover myself. So that's how the innovation also comes. When we face with some hurdle during operations or maintenance or anything, first thing is to solve the problem. For that, I should understand the functionality and the problem and the available resources or what is not available. So based on this, only my premise of this talk. And then I've been lucky with the support of academia and the MSMEs per se, and of course the guidance of the seniors like you all, I could make some successful endeavors. And then why I call ourselves as unicorns of intangibles is like people talk in terms of turnover, how many crores you have done and all those things. Here, at least I can proudly say that every crore I made as a turnover, thousands of crores have been saved, which I shall explain, and how also. So that's how it's intangible. We are unicorns, but intangible returns we have got. Straight away, I can say as a sir brought, we are industrial partners. The day I started the company, 31st August 2018, I hang my boots, and same day night I registered my company as a consultancy company. That's how I started, nRoot Consultancy. And I understood at that time the strength of academia and the veterans and the industry MSME to be brought together. So that's how I started working with the academia. We used to sign MOU. Now also the procedure exists, but then mostly they are non-functional MOUs. So that is where the difference is. When we sign MOU, we have to give them live projects. The students and professors are brilliant. Only thing is they don't know where to put their energy. So that is the academia part. And startup. like even I'm a startup after 5 years also, and we need to guide them with respect to the procedures and the methodology to be adopted, finances, marketing, and trials, QA. They are too good, but then we have to groom. That's very important, which is been missed out so far. But then with the government's schemes, IDEX, all other government, state government schemes, we have been coming forward to improve the system. So that's where, if you've seen on the top also, I put nRoot and Bridge Bharat. Being the founder of both, I, as a nRoot founder, undergo as the startup whatever the problems I face, and as a Bridge Bharat founder, and with the support of all senior veterans, we are able to solve these things with their expertise, networking, and guidance. So we are able to solve those problems also. So that's how, I'll be talking in both terms, but then ultimately end result is how do we contribute to the nation building, and how do we overcome the challenges faced, especially by the defense. But then technology is not limited to defense. So we do serve the civil also. So I've been lucky to be directly blessed by the very senior, the topmost officers of Air Force, and also the scientists and the political leaders also, for the small little efforts what I made. So that has given me the boost. In uniform, I was privileged to design, develop, and fabricate a missile simulator, which was costing thousands of crores, but it was under 1 crore. And the project lead time so far they had taken when I took over the project was 7 years already run through the history. So we did it in 44 weeks. That was a record one. And the credit goes to the academia and MSME who stood by me. And and then why I use the word instinct is, by qualification, I'm not an engineer, but I'm a practicing engineer, I can say, or practical engineer. I learned it the harder way, but then the people who are with me, they are highly qualified. Those people did. So that's how the journey started in the field of R&D and implementation. So then after I quit the Air Force, I joined working with the DGQA, so Director General Quality Assurance. That was the first project I did at IIRF, then Jabalpur, and wherein I was privileged to learn so many things about Army. Otherwise, being an Air Force officer, that too from flying branch, I have not seen any equipment or anything. So learned there what artillery and what is the armored vehicle, what mortar, everything I saw there. I learned, and my team learned, and then I could guide them. And it was a two-way process where the Army officers were teaching us what they are doing, what their equipment is supposed to do. And then we were telling what technology is available, how we can support them. It was give and take policy. And then academy obviously was there to keep us focused towards the end result. So that's how, I've also been privileged to have Lieutenant General Sanjay Chauhan to be the chairman of Bridge Bharat Council also. And Colonel Jeyakumar is our CEO, whom already you have heard. So these are the people, to name a few, who are the guiding stars and force, behind whom we all are going as a startup. And these were the few recognitions received in the early stage itself. So that has given that required motivation or the strength to pull forward. And these are the academy already a part of Bridge Bharat also, you must have seen. So when the startup works, the main weakness or weak area what we have is the R&D. R&D, it's not that I can't think, I can't do, but the resources, the equipment, and the procedures, the people are not aware. In spite of being from Air Force and all, even I am not that confident or qualified to do all those things. That's where the academia comes. But then they don't come into the industry. They're limited to their labs and the classrooms. So when we do the bridging, and then we are able to extract the best out of them and then give it to the industry people. Industry is not only the startups, it includes the industrial associations, bigger companies, foreign companies. So we have been able to break ice with all of them. And then we could convince that, okay, staying together will give better results for all of us. So that's how the concept of Bridge Bharat evolved. And so with this strength, we could interact with all these bigger organizations, whether it's armed forces, IDS, or the command level, DRDO, even the state governments. Everybody is looking for solution. And then the gap, as sir has brought out, is that each stakeholder feels he is doing very important. Yes, It is everybody is doing important job, but then all of a sudden, that silos, it's not giving the coherent result, or that force is dissipated. That's where we are trying to collaborate with all the agencies who are involved, whether it is state government, academia, or startup themselves, and that too at the grassroots level. IIT, NIT, they are all funded by the government, and their facilities are international level these days. Whereas the knowledge and the skill set available at the grassroots level are tier 2, 3 cities, I would call, like places like where I am, Tanjavur, Tiruchirappalli, or even down below south, even north UP you can take. Knowledge is available, opportunities are not there. Opportunities where it is available, the people are not aware how to utilize it or how to channelize their resources. That is the very important thing. Like maybe think tanks like IIRF or USA, all of us are doing, and we are trying to even work with the think tanks as well as the ministry departments. That's how the thing started. Straight away I'll go for the indigenously designed, developed, and manufactured projects by nRoot Group. When I say nRoot Group, I have my own 6 startups, small little startups. For each one I have started. So that itself is a learning for me. Like one guy or one company cannot do everything. That was where I realized the power of collaboration, and then that is by instinct. I was failing. So where it was failing, so by instinct I knew, okay, these were the weaknesses. To overcome, then we created a group. So that 50 plus companies, as on date, I can probably say that we have crossed the mark of 65 startups across the country, 15 states. So these companies have helped me. Like the project Drishti is the automation project of proof firing range at IIRF. This is the first project ever officially the company took. Here the project Drishti, it's basically a combination of multiple sensors and drones, cameras, and wireless communication over an area of 100 square kilometers, where the solution was developed to monitor whatever is happening at the firing point or observation post without internet and without electricity at the observation post. So we created an intranet, and we used multiple sensors like PTZ and computer software, report generator, all those things. It's in situ. We had to carry take the professors and MSMEs. Totally about 11 MSMEs worked on this for a period of 3 years. And the cost was slashed by many zeros. So based on this, then BG himself gave me the opportunity to do the automation of Jabalpur firing range they have, long proof range. So that also we did. And now based on the performance, what they've seen, the products or the modules, what we given them, they have been taken as part of joint services standard, which was published in November 21. That's the recognition what we could get as small startups. Our concept could, ensure transparent and objective sentencing, safety was enhanced, and even the amount of expenses for repeated testing they used to do. That's all done. Everything is recorded through video, and we could see where it actually the target is falling. Even the blinds we could locate with the optical. So that's all. Again, that is why I call it an instinct. Without knowing what artillery gun is, and without knowing what is the difference between a mortar and a armored gun, this was. I must accept my ignorance. But then that's how we started. And today we are satisfied that we could change the concept of the proof firing with the technology. All these technologies are available. Colleges are doing a lot of projects like this. They call it IoT, AI, wireless network, everything. But it has never been given where it's actually required, which could have saved thousands of crores long year back. But then somewhere we have started, sir. And so that way we are again moving forward. Recently we got one project for PXC Balasur in similar lines. So just the starting point on 1st of December, we inaugurated that project also. There also we got 4 MSMEs. We have worked on this. So that's one. And the second major project, what gave me an identity and a confidence that innovation instinct can work, is called Poems. It's basically, since I'm a BA English literature, I'm fond of giving names. Poems is nothing but a pneumatically operated electronic multi-purpose simulator. It's a shoulder-fired missile simulator, and it's imported from Russia. but then we didn't have the TOT, even we don't have even now, and nor we had the spares coming from there. So this was going on. And when I took over the unit as a CEO, I had this big challenging task where I had to train my soldiers. This equipment, as you all are aware, available in all the 3 services. So there were R&D going on at various levels, but then my request for doing my own level of R&D was approved. And of course, the issue of qualification, what is the backup, which college will do and all. Like if you can see on the bottom, there is one Periyar Manimai University, the first one, blue color background. Other one is Periyar TBI, that's Periyar Technology Business Incubator. They both are the same management. They are located in Tanjavur. And since my unit was also here, so I had interacted with the professors, learned the basics of the technology, how they work, how they think. And I gave my requirement, not in terms of missile, they didn't know when I gave. Slowly I was taking them. I was asking them for an electronic circuit. Then I told them, give me one tripod, then some launcher with the piston, 1 meter of long pipe, some thing, what I understood as technology, I kept giving them. And that project, which I started with 30,000 rupees as a seed money, as a CEO, I could only manage that much money. But then finally, when the approval came from Air Headquarters in 2015, the budget was 63 lakhs. And I can proudly say that when I completed the project in 2017, within 44 weeks, the saving to the Air Force alone, the exchequer, in terms of utility for next 10 years would be 2,200 crores. So for that, our entire team got the Prime Minister's award of that certificate of excellence in innovation. So that gave me the confidence and the belief that it need not be only that the branded universities or institutions or only the qualifications they do. They are all engineers who supported me. They are PhDs, MTech. Only thing is they didn't have the brand. And the MSMEs who they all work with me and supported, they are also not from Bombay or Calcutta or Chennai. They are all from Tanjavur, Tiruchi, Salem, Madurai. These all the second 2-tier cities. But the products what they created with together, and I had about 10 soldiers working with me, all same 10th, 12th pass, trained in Air Force only. But then they were the operators. They knew how system works, and somebody knows how the project, the procurement works. So this is how we did a collaborative project with the academia, MSME, and the Air Force ourselves. But then I was lucky that I got the blessings of the Air Headquarters to complete this project. And then after the induction of the prototyping, the next level was taken up for procurement of bulk production. So the Periyar TBI, which is a Section 8 company, they were declared as the OEM. I don't know, you all may be aware. At that point of time, this was the first time ever a private engineering college that to TBI was made OEM, because they worked so hard with us. So the Air Force gave them the status of OEM, and the project was given to them for bulk production in 2022. And now the project is going on, and we all are working, and the delivery lines have been set. So this is the first start point where the concept of innovation by instinct and collaborative R&D and coordinated manufacturing came. So as the time passed, the technology improved, then the challenges also improved, and our awareness about the other technologies. So the version 2 of the same missile simulator, now we have worked on that and it is ready. It is called Epitome because it's epitome of the collaboration. So the name itself given, and the full form is on the screen. And what are the evolution which has taken place? If I may share, this is the screen what you see, sir. Left top is the imported equipment. From there, we moved on to 2015 proof of concept. Then we went to 2016 beta version. 17 is what I made the R&D product. It was a prototype, final, fully functional. 22, what you see, the black box, that was the one which was made for the Air Force to supply. And now in 2023, it has become a tab. The entire technology, functionality, everything has been compressed into this. This is a continuous process. From 2013, I started this project. So it's coming. The cost is inversely proportional. From crores, it is coming down to lakhs. So this is the power of the MSME or the academia when they work together. But then being the designer come project director, I had the flexibility of changing the design, changing the QRs, ORs, everything I could do. So that's what I mean by the untapped potential of veterans or the soldiers. And if you're aware, sir, the missile has got a thermal seeker, but then which is not manufactured in India, and we don't have the technology, and the cost is phenomenal. Now the function of the thermal seeker is being done by optical camera, by using image processing and various other algorithms we have used. This is again developed by B.Tech electronics guy who is doing small little projects in Tanjavur. Now this is the main eye of the heart of the system with which we could do. We call it as digital video monitoring system. We are able to track the target. We are able to locate it. So we can give command to the system. So this, and one most important, another innovation what we do. This is the classic case of innovation by instinct, where what you see on the booster cartridge left and on the right, what you see is a compressor. In between is the dummy missile. It's a metal part. This is the one which saves hundreds of crores per annum, sir. The psychological trainer, we call it in missile, to use each time, one gunner to be trained. If you use one booster, it is 6.5 lakh. I don't know what is the cost now. And the launcher life is only 30 times. This is what is the imported thing. Today, if you see the right side epitome, what we have created, we are using compressed air instead of, because it's a simulator only, it's not a original. But then what we need is some motion, CG change, blast, and then the explosion sound, all those things are required. That we could create digitally, electronically, pneumatically. And the saving, if you could see that fourth point, 6.5 lakh is imported expenditure and 100 rupees per launch is Indian. And 30 times only you can use one launcher if it is imported, and we are using 1,000 times Indian. This structure per se, design is mine, concept is mine, fine, but it's being actually done by a guy who is 9th fail. He's not even ITI. He is part of our team, and his name has been included in the patent also. So that's the talent. With the correct amount of guidance he can do. Of course, the professors did calculations, everything. So we can't undermine their requirement also. But then when it is a team, it can happen. So what you see in the image is what is the output. In real case also, it is working like this only, with the sound and blast and smoke, everything comes. So the trainee is given the same feel of what happens in case of a real imported simulator. But the technology has been developed indigenously and with the support of the academia and funding of the air headquarters. So this is what we could do. And this, what you are seeing is now everything is artificial, what is that, augmented reality and virtual reality. The left side, what you see is imported. The weight, just to share, as 3,000 kg. That is 3 ton is the weight. And the rate is approximately 8 crores. What you see on right is only one gun, one visor, one TV, and computer. That's all. The cost is reduced phenomenally. It's like almost 1/10 is the cost of the production. And the technology what we have included is now we have gone towards mixed reality also. And any target can be induced. In India, we have, I think, only few of them. Each service has got one. But today, each unit is going to have one because the cost is reduced, technology is improved. So you don't have to travel and you don't have to lose your man hours. So many advantages are there. So this is also, again, thanks to the local people, local in the sense the academia and the MSME who worked in the team. And this is another innovation. E-vehicle, everybody is aware. But then this e-vehicle is automated. Of course, outside I can't drive it because of RI regulations and all. It's supposed to actually carry a target. It's part of the training equipment. So this entire structure, what you are seeing, is again designed by the same whom I mentioned that 9th fail. So this is the product what we made. It's solar powered and e-vehicle. It can go with the remote. Driver can drive it, or it can go autonomously if the area is surveyed. This has been demonstrated to the Air Force. We are supplying, and Army also has seen. It has got multiple applications in any industry. Maybe agriculture, it can be any big industry, anywhere you can use. And this, what you are seeing, is like a missile stand, sir. So just to show, this is how a soldier of Igla stands on the shoulder. It's generally, it varies. 21 is the basic weight, and then we can go up to 25 depending upon the gadgets. Every gunner has to stand like this. On the right, what you see with the missile, there's nobody standing with that. This is the original structure. On this stand, I can put my missile, it will balance. Of course, we have not made the automated firing as of now, but the weight is on the stand. The gunner has to direct. It can 360 degree rotate, elevation, everything is adjusted. And what you see on the ground is the radium coated compass. Otherwise, they are supposed to take a compass in hand and says, here, since it's radium coated, in the night also I can see. These are the basic concept given by my gunner. He said, sir, these are the problems we face. Problem statement was created, solution was there. And this is one more innovation by instinct. Okay, what do you want? You want to see the direction. Okay, don't carry the compass. Okay, you are not able to carry the gun for hours together, so don't carry, just direct it. So this is how we worked on the instinct. And then similar, I'll not take much time on this because they're all individual projects by themselves. So these were the projects based on RFID and remotely controlled, the safety locker, or you have a launcher for your trap shooting targets as well as missile targets also we can do. And there is a medical chair where you sit and get up. 52 seconds, you get your vitals. So we are working on ECG and EEG also. It can be used for remote locations. It can be used for villages or post where there is no medical facilities. These are the way we work. We work on the problem statement, the needs of the people. By the instinct, we think, okay, this technology can work here. So this is the way we function. And this is a prototype of AI-based launcher. We have made it for trap shooting, what we all used to in the flying branch. We used to use that pigeons we do, or maybe in the army also we have. That had its own limitations. So to overcome that, we use corrugated sheet, which can be automatically launched in different directions, elevations, and azimuth, so that the gunner doesn't know where the target is going to come. And even if you don't hit, the target will land on its own, so that you don't waste the pigeon clay. And this is lightweight, you can carry in a suitcase. This is again given idea. The idea was given when I proposed this. One civilian engineer, electrical guy, he said, this I can create. So this is what he did. And this drone today, it's ever pervasive, everywhere it is drone only. So one of the mainstay product what we do is drone. What you see in the image, it's basically a runway sweeping drone and a public announcement. It's a multi-role drone. Anything you can make. Now for DRDO also, for some other purpose, we have given something similar. So it's basically innovation is something like what for us, it's like a dowel. I can do anything with that. It's a raw material. Innovation is a raw material. Use your instinct to create multiple product with the same the problem statement. And this is like, since we are into drone, obviously the anti-drone comes. We have indigenous anti-drone gun also. And we are working on the anti-drone system. Everybody says somebody has got a detector, someone has got a hunter, someone has got net, various things. But then ultimately what we work towards is the solution. How best the problem can be thwarted and how best you can detect him, how early you can detect. This all by the operational experiences we discuss, we give it to the professors and the MSMEs. They give me the solution. And then we do the prototyping. And then we take input from the field units and veterans, they guide us. Okay, this didn't work earlier. This will not work in desert. This will not work in high altitude. So this is how the product concept itself is corrected. And thereafter we go to the next level. So just to put in just like what way innovations by instinct can save or what it can save. First is the lead time. The moment I go to a college, even today, I had a discussion. One professor says, I need 36 months of time to do this project. But in military, you all know, sir, like, of course, we have longer projects, but then any project taking 36 months means there are a lot of repercussions. You forget what you want, the technology changes, your ORs change, and then it goes. It's a wild goose chase. We are don't put. And then obviously the cost is exorbitantly high at the end of the project. And if we are thinking of import, TOT is too costly, we don't get, and consumables become costlier than the original equipment, which almost all of us experienced. The spares are not available when we want it. And most important is man-hours are being wasted in hunting for the solution and then wasting our time in repair, maintenance, and then obviously it results in loss of money. And then when we do the innovation by instinct or innovation per se, indigenous, I'll put it, the technology is ours. If something is bad, I can discard. If something is up to be upgraded, it's within our limit. And cost that way is not much. Why? Because the IPR is with us. And if the services are funding, they have the right to ask. This is another advantage. And then the sizes, as I've shown how the the VR simulator has reduced the size from 3,000 kilo, that is 3 ton, to 30 kilograms. It has come down. The cost from 8 crore, it has come to around 1 crore. So this is how the maintenance has been reduced, size has been reduced, and it can be carried to remote location also. And then wireless modules. Since the technology is with us, we don't work like the Russian way. We have modified with the latest technology, where the near real time, I can take it to the op location and do it. He is at his offsite where he is trained correctly. So this is another thing. And now the question comes like, why I put this question, can anyone solve the problems? It has got a connotation, because always we have a set pattern. Military, we follow the rules. It's not that others are following. Everybody says, okay, it has to be minimum QRs. You should have to start this business. And MSME per se, entrepreneurs are the people who break all these things. Anybody can invent anything, innovate anything. So if you have to say innovator, he can do with that instinct anything. So like, why? Because I said this, I have committed blunders while doing certain things in that enthusiasm. Maybe today also I may be committing something, I might have uttered something wrong, but then I'm willing to learn. But then at the end, have I learned, and am I moving forward, and am I solving the problem? If these attitudes are there, definitely we can do wonders. And what I learned as the steps towards innovation by instinct is, first of all, the problem has to be understood clearly. It doesn't mean that the scientists, they don't know, or the industrialists, they don't know. There is a lot of gap between the field unit or the field Jawan or the soldier till the scientist who is working here. So many stages that problem statement reaches. So we get into the format rather than content. So finally, by the time it reaches the industry, like for just example, there are some discussions going on. What is the difference between indigenization and innovation? Both are same. For me, as an industrialist, you want a product, whether reverse engineering or I create my own. For me, the product has to be given with such and such quality and quantity and cost. But then we get into the procedure. This is capital procurement, this is revenue procurement, indigenization or innovation. So that is one thing what I felt was confusing the industries and with whomsoever I've interacted. They say, sir, you tell me what you want. Don't tell me procedure. Yes, I will follow. But then don't ask me so many questions. I don't have answer. That's where the veterans come into play, or the soldiers come into play, who say, okay, don't worry, I'll look after this. You just concentrate on your product. Second thing is, we ask drawing we give, material we have given, and we have given a functionality. But that mostly these guys get stuck with that form fit functionality. What about the CTQ, critical to quality? They don't know. After finishing everything, DGQ fails. That's a bad name we get. Most of you would have heard this, that DGQ always fails. They don't fail. They say, do what is right. And then comes to the perception. Everybody perceives a problem in different way. So if it is objectively, it can be done. And then technology is available. Like one example I gave was explosive. Research was going on for years, 5-6 years research was going on. Why? Because the task given was, this booster has to be indigenized. But then never the scientist or the R&D people were told why the booster is required is to throw a dummy weight. Had they been told, they would have never gone into that part of trying to create the same power. I'm not saying that they were wrong, but then the definition of the problem was that he generate or indigenize this booster. So when I took up, I said, you want to throw this thing, it will be thrown. That's all. What do you want? Sound. Okay, given. Light, given. Blast, given. Smoke, given. Now the product is ready. I mean, I was operator and I was a designer and project director I could do, but then we can't have everybody doing this. That is not job of a soldier or a commanding officer in a unit. It's very rare case where the people were willing to guide me and support me, we could. So ultimately what we need is the testing, trials, validation, because that's more important. I can make anything. It will not work after 1 year. After I go out of the unit, it will go. So if we can cater for all those things, finally, what you get is the innovation by instinct. But then if you see all the things which are in red, they are scientific, methodological, they're not by instinct. Only the final product I give, it's only a thing, start point and end point, you can say so. But then to make the imagination or dream into a concrete product, definitely we need science. And then how it works, I will not dwell much on this because Colonel Selva, whoever has attended, you must have seen. The style of functioning or the working model, what we follow is, we collect all the RFPs or the problem statements and we go and visit the field units to understand. When I say it includes the Bridge Bharat or the MSME or the academia. Like last week, I was in Bangalore, one army unit. I took a professor, I took 2-3 MSME and one soldier also. We all went there, saw their products, listened to their problems. Then we worked out a solution. We are working on those projects. Then we come to the industry and academia, discuss what is available, how we can convert this available technologies and knowledge into a product or service which can meet the requirement of armed forces, or it can be even civil industry. Other model what we follow is, we keep visiting the industry, we have interactions, awareness, seminar, everything we do. They keep showing us, this is what we have worked, we got this concept, we got this project. That we take, match with requirement of army or any other sector, and again do the reverse flow. What is available, we tell them these are available, would it meet your requirement? So these are the two models with which, whether it is nRoot or Bridge Bharat, we have been working. So to translate the jargons of industry academia into military and military jargons into industry academia, it's a very critical job. We have a different way of talking. So this is where the role of soldiers and the veterans who have exposure to both is important. So, and I'm sorry I made it. I thought maybe more number of MSMEs also will be there. So I thought it will be helpful for them. Uncertainties, because they are very scared. The resources are less. And like even for me, I have to take my loan and then my pension. Others go to bank, they don't give loan. So that attitude has to be there, that if there may be a failure, what is the plan B, plan C? It has to be there. Second, aptitude to learn. They are very strict. Okay, you give me money, you give me material, you give me drawing, I will make product and give you. They are not flexible, many people. So they don't stand a chance. So that is one. The other way around also. Military, we say you have to follow this L1, this and that. And the guy who has got a idea or a product, he doesn't even know what is L1, L2. Still, there are people like that. So how do we do the handholding? And this were the things that, like when I started, I was not qualified and I didn't know the technologies, I didn't know the procedures. I trusted my people who had the experience in the respective fields. Full freedom was given to them. That's what I put as a man. And then machine, like experimenting with the technology or innovation or inputs was to be allowed. If I say, no, don't waste your material, I got within 1 week, not possible. Only then this Atmanirbharta will come. R&D is limited to some established bigger corporates or labs only. Unless the R&D culture comes to the MSME, it is not going to suffice, or it is not going to take us to the full-fledged self-reliance. And then some of what I like, based on my personal experience, I found the defense work environment has to be conveyed to the academia or the industry. Nowadays, we have visit to the industry, what do you call a forward area, even SIDM and all, they are doing it. But then it's all limited to cities, NCR area or a bigger thing. But actual guys who are working are still in the rural area or urban, semi-urban area. They don't get a chance. If he leaves one day, he's going to lose 2,000 rupees of salary. The government says, you pay your money, you come. Because obviously, it's not a tourism what they're conducting. It's a business. So that's the gap. Who has the capability does not know the requirement, and who go there, they feel it's not meeting their what do you call margin and all those things. So finally, the requirement remains unfulfilled, and then the QA norms, there is no choice but to meet, because we are talking about defense, especially. Even otherwise also, everybody wants quality. And instinct, I earlier also mentioned, it's only a start point. That's last slide, sir.
Yeah.
Just to conclude, the innovation by instinct is what by experience we learn, combine the various skills of all the people, academy, all the stakeholders, I'll put it, and then we do the connect them, consolidate them, and contribute towards the country. So this is what the experience why I had, sir. I'm sorry for overshooting the time, and thank you very much. I'm if anybody wants to ask question or to educate me, I'm willing, sir. Thank you. I'm just going out of presentation mode.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jeyakumar sir. Before General Kapoor takes over, I just want to announce to the audience, if they have any questions, they can put it in the chat box. We will pick it up from there, or if we have a little time, then we will allow you to speak also. Over to you, General Kapoor sir.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Firstly, thank you very much, Wing Commander. It was indeed a very lucid presentation by you on innovation by instinct. I could totally relate with it, because I think all our lives in the core of EME, and Selva has been with me. Innovation perhaps is the way of life, especially in defense. Whether you look at operational challenges, whether you look at maintenance challenges, whether you look at managing legacy, and you brought out large number of examples, how you've been able to create the next gen solutions for the old gen equipment using innovation by instinct. I think you brought out all the points which are relevant. All it takes me is to share with you the credo that we made for our core of EME, which was based on whatever you said in innovation by instinct. And the credo we called is as POISE, where P stands for purpose with passion. So I think as entrepreneurs, there's a need to have a very well-defined purpose. And I say well-defined in italics, it's important. And patch it with your passion. It makes things happen. O stands for ownership with optimism. You have to own. I mean, it should be part of your DNA. If you've taken up a purpose, make it part of your DNA. Like it, love it, whatever, and do it. And optimism, because the only guarantee when you do something new is failure. I can only guarantee failure. Success will come when you are resolute and you get up every time you fail. So the credo we would say is fail fast, recover faster. So that is what is O for you. I is innovation with initiative. Innovate, take a lot of initiative. S stands for skills with synergy. Skill is the power of each individual, and synergy is team building. The power of me getting converted to the power of we. And E stands for empathy, efficiency, and effectiveness. You have to empathize with the man on ground, where he's the one who exactly knows where the shoe is pinching. And normally we always move around with a hammer, and when you have a hammer in hand, everything you want to make looks like a nail to you, whereas the reality sometimes is otherwise. So I think with this, I would like to conclude and thank you for your very, very, should I say, exhaustive presentation with examples. I think it's a great initiative, and you've really shown the way as to how where there's a will, there is a highway, and you marching on it. Wish you the best in all your endeavors ahead, and definitely, the IIRF wheel is on the same shoulder with you. So we're looking at many more initiatives that maybe we together can do and feel proud of Make in India, Atmanirbhar, and Startup India. Thank you. All the best. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Sandeep sir, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to highlight What Wing Commander Jeyakumar said is, he hit the, in the right place, hit the nail on the head. The most important issue which I have been projecting is the gap between the ground soldier, academia, and OEM or innovators. Because that's why I keep mentioning about the Gurkha soldier. So the requirement and the need which is in the front can only be identified by the people who are actually fighting. It is not only fighting, can be anything, technology. The person who is maintaining a vehicle, since the technology is changing very fast, only that person who is doing the work on the ground will realize what is it. But by the time it goes, the procurement committee is a different one. They are guided by the old values and old requirement. So there is a gap which is existing, like you had mentioned, with the people on the ground and the academia, OEM, innovators. To that, you are doing a fantastic job. I should compliment you. Then please highlight the IDEX challenges. You mentioned IDEX challenges. I feel that there is a big challenge in the IDEX because there are a lot of restrictions kept on that. Because of that, people are not very, like you said, people are very careful, that I will lose my money or things like that. You can highlight the IDEX challenges because this recording will go and IDEX challenges will be understood. And we can project this in a paper way to the government or, wherever it is to be projected. Then the next is the L1 syndrome. We are stuck with the L1 syndrome and we accept, substandard stuff. So then that's another part which is made when your request for proposal RFP is made. This L1 things actually, it's like the generic medicine and the specific medicine. So you will end up, having problems. So this is very important. These are the things. If you can highlight these issues, then it will be good. Otherwise, the main thing which you mentioned is fantastic. Go down to the ground level. Maybe that's the reason you're tying up with, you went to Trivandrum to meet the people concerned there, and maybe in Hyderabad. I can definitely help you in this aspect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. I don't find many questions in the chat box. So is there anybody who wants to ask any question? You can raise hand or we can
Rajesh Kumar.
start. Okay.
Rajesh Kumar is muted. He raised his hands.
Rajesh Kumar. Yeah. Mr. Rajesh Kumar, are you there? I am looking for Mr. Sarathi Sri Raman. Is he around? Is he there?
Myself Rajesh Kumar from Tanjavur.
Okay.
Yeah, the classes and the topics are very well covered. It's sparkling and igniting the mind, as Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said.
Okay.
Ignite your
Introduce
mind.
yourself first. Who are you? What's your background?
Sir, myself, I am a BE in electrical and electronics engineer.
Okay, so you are a student still?
Yeah, I finished. I graduated,
Okay.
and I am actually I attended the workshop at Periyar Manimani University at PMU incubator.
Okay.
So
So
I
you
am
go ahead. You whatever you want to say, make it short.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I need some kind of. I never. I have come to know that there is some kind of this workshop like this. We can discover. We can innovate in defense field.
Yeah.
I have never knew about that. But today is the fresh day. I am new to this thing. But we have to discover or innovate something. Actually, is being on the ground of the military and war defense.
Okay.
Okay, I have some getting some idea of developing some ideas.
Okay. Thank you, Rajesh Kumar. Give some advice to our young budding engineer and innovator and.
Sure, sir. Okay, Mr. Rajesh, you can contact me. Being in Tanjavur, you can come anytime to my office.
Yes,
maybe we can discuss and then take it forward. Thank you.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Hariharan.
Yes, sir. I'm Hariharan from Forge, associate. I'm part of IDEX here. So I'm an associate and my manager is Colonel Sarathi, who was not able to attend today. And I have joined the previous lecture as well. paradigm shift that represents a drone and the future of drones in warfare. So it was an excellent lecture, and the lecture today was also mind blowing. And one other question that I have is that many MSME face some kind of problem that whether when they manufacture a certain product and they nodal agency procure it, so there are some gaps, because the need for the nodal agency for a certain orders is that they get 100 or 200 units of so and so products that can be used within the defense. So after procuring such products, so it will be in service. But after that, the MSMEs don't get orders after the certain period.
Big problem.
So
Yeah,
that's
understood.
a problem.
Understood. This is a very big problem. I think
Yes.
with the experience of Wing Commander Jeyakumar, he will throw some light. And what is the solution to this with your experience?
Okay. Any other questions, Mr. Hari?
No, this is the question, sir. No, nothing else.
Sajid, sir, you would like to say something, sir?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, you have prepared something, manufactured something, and given it for that particular time. But
Yes,
the
sir.
technology is changing. So that is
Yeah.
not the end of it. The most important thing to understand, it is not the end of it. You have to be regularly in contact with them, for which I'm sure Wing Commander Jeyakumar will help them. And you have to upgrade the system. It is Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3. It is known as in the Army, Navy, Air Force. So you got to keep upgrading the system, update, because all these things matters. The technology changes matters. The things will change. Earlier we used to have 303. Then you came 7.62 mm. Then came 5.56 rifles. Then now it is 5.56. Have gone back to 7.62. I'm seeing it. I saw it across my 32, 33 years of service. So that is what, Hariharan, you have to understand that. And I'm sure Jeyakumar, Wing Commander Jeyakumar will make you understand and help you.
Yes, sir. I wanted to add one thing, sir. Mr. Hari, what you
Yes,
said
sir.
about the 100 units, it's called the MOQ, minimum order quantity.
Yeah.
Before they ask itself, they say, if it's a indigenization or any other process we do, they announce it. Okay, this is the requirement, expected requirement, first time requirement, they say. And
Yes.
in most cases, like all senior officers, they know, they have something called a development fund. That also they give. If you don't know, if it's to be done newly, they're going to pay for it. Even if you make one, he's going to pay for all your fixture, jigs, rigs, whatever you make. So no way the services or the government is going to make you lose. What you are looking at is the continued business.
Yes.
It may not be there, but then whatever you invested, with the margin you will get. So you should be ready. As I said, unless you are updated towards the technological requirement, upgradation, you will not be in the business. Like, whether it is a fashion design or a hotel, anywhere, you keep changing your, people change the taste. Here, it's not about taste, it's about the edge towards the other countries. So as long as you keep your technology updated, you will never go out of business, or maybe related business, you can keep converting. I think that is the only way of doing. You can't say I made one nut and it has to be used by all. So I think that should be the end.
Thank you.
Sure, sir. Thank you for the insights.
Great. I think that brings out a need that these innovators and people with the great ideas, the young people, have to get exposed to more and more army formations and units to understand what is happening, and then they will understand what kind of solutions they can give. They have to know the problems at the field level. So I do not know how that interaction can take place. The army formations should start some schemes at the field level, at unit level, where they invite continuously people from the IITs and the engineering colleges and on study tours to get them familiarized for the floor situation and the problems. I think so.
Raj, I think Colonel Selvakumar wanted to say something.
Yes,
Selvakumar, please go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to what Mr. Hariharan was saying, sir. I've already had discussion with Colonel Sarathi, whom we were searching.
Okay.
This problem is a genuine problem. Once the prototype has been made, there are two things involved. Like as per IDEX, whatever specifications were given, the prototype is perfectly fitting that, so they accept it. but then it is not exactly addressing the issues that were underlying, like what Jeyakumar was covering in this lecture. The underlying problem was not covered entirely in the IDEX problem statement. So that is where the gap is. So once the prototype has been made, thereafter converting into an order for a bulk supply, because the need was there, the IDEX issue was IDEX problem statement was issued. So that is where the gap is. This I think I've already discussed with the Forge Innovation, and we will be able to help this. So Mr. Harigaran can discuss with me about the problems which are there. We can work out, and besides this technological issue, there is an issue about what is the size of the company. In the IDEX, the underlying problem is that any innovator, any individual can come in as an innovator, or a startup can come. But when the question comes for issuing a bulk order, we still have the same norms as per the DAP, where we look at the turnover and the experience. So that is what we can probably provide the solution through the collaborative R&D and coordinated manufacture that we are doing. So that is how we can address this particular issues.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you. So can I get your mail ID so I can initiate a conversation with you?
Yeah, I can. I probably would be having a number. I'll call you and speak to you.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you.
Rajesh
Yeah.
again. Go ahead, Rajesh, quickly.
Actually, there was a problem or some kind of innovations are needed for the Indian Navy or Indian Army or Indian Air Force. There will be some kind of problem we have now. Any kind of problems are facing, any troubleshoot we have to correct it now.
Yes.
Yeah, say okay. The main question is, there are some kind of many engineers, we are ready to discover or innovate something kind of machines like that. Then how can they are ready to know? How can they know the problems of your side?
Okay, that's what I said. No, you come and meet me personally, since you are close by. I'll guide you. You come to my office. You know my office. I think you can come with your professor, and or you can come alone. We'll discuss in person. I'll explain you where are the avenues, so you can do it.
Okay. That was the problem for many graduates, sir.
We'll guide. You can come to us.
Yeah.
Should we close, sir?
Yeah, I think it was a very grounded talk which Jeyakumar has given, and thank you very much, Jay. It has been a fantastic experience for us, and what I realized is our frequency is matching in many aspects with IIRF. At least my personal observation is that. So we can take it forward and make people meet the users. And that gap between the academia users and the manufacturers can be reduced as much as possible. And I can definitely personally help you in this to a good extent. And also, like Selva has said, there are people asking questions like Jeyakumar, what's the problem? We are there to solve it. But there's these things can also be sorted out, and it's a very good start. And give an opportunity for them to come and be part of the conclave, which is going to happen on 2nd March onwards. In which the US, WTC, the World Trade Center, is also going to be there. They are looking at both sides, having this done on both sides. They will establish it here also, and if somebody is good, they will like to take it that side also. So it's going to be a win-win situation for all the MSMEs and all the micro, whatever level it is. So it will be a great achievement for us as a think tank, as well as all of us. Thank you very much, and I thank you very much, General Kapoor, for chairing the meeting and giving your pearls of wisdom. And it has been a good webinar today, and I'm sure it will be seen by more people in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Very nice. All the best.
Thank you, General Kapoor, sir. Thank you, Wing Commander Jeyakumar. Thank you, Colonel Selva. And thank you, all the audience.
Indus International Research Foundation is a global think tank with its physical presence in India and USA. It is a global network of scholars, professionals, and veterans based in various parts of the globe. The foundation focuses primarily on international relations, Indian heritage, political economy, and security studies. While the uniqueness of IIRF India lies in the fact that it seeks solution to national and international problems through the prisms of Indian ethos, philosophy, and civilizational wisdom, IIRF Americas is committed to act as a bridge between the people, academics, enterprise, and businesses of the two democracies to join hands for a better world and a better tomorrow. It also tries to bring the people of two countries together. True to its motto, IIRF aims to provide forum to the voices from all quarters, geographies, and gender, who question dominant narratives. It is this plurality of thought, so unique to Indian tradition, that IIRF seeks to carry abroad, while simultaneously bringing contemporary global debates to India. If mankind is to survive as a civil society, there is no alternative other than to share the resources of the universe equitably for the benefit of all. IIRF believes in the Indian wisdom contained in Vedas that says, "Nature is the sole owner of all the treasure of this universe, and there is enough for everyone."